I have something important to reveal to you. Your ex-partner, seeking answers, has gone to a psychic for clarity on their path and what is really happening in your life. They showed the psychic a photo of you two together, and, with great uncertainty, asked if you still have feelings for them. They want to take a firm step forward but need to be sure it's the right thing to do. The psychic replied that right now you need stability and a true commitment to yourself. She told them that you would not be willing to go back unless there is a solid commitment, something that makes you feel secure. Then, your ex asked about your feelings for someone else, and the psychic warned them not to wait too long because you are a very desired and radiant person. You stand out, not just for your beauty but for your energy, and that attracts many people. She even mentioned that there is someone in your circle who is already noticing you. But that's not all. The psychic also revealed that your ex is trapped in an emotional blockage because of a person from their past who cannot accept you being happy with someone else. Most surprisingly, she warned them that they have competition for you. She said there are two people interested in you, and if they don't hurry, they could lose you forever. Now I invite you to leave your comment. True love will always win. Because what is coming is much greater and more beautiful than any obstacle your ex or anyone from their past has tried to put in your way. And now, prepare yourself, because someone special is about to tell you how they feel. This message is just the beginning of what's to come. The psychic explained that the root of all this trouble isn't just your ex's jealousy or the insecurities of people from their past, but an older, more persistent energy that has been lingering in your life for some time. There is a woman who has held a grudge against you for years. It's a resentment that grew in silence and, over time, turned into a dangerous obsession. There is no room for peace in her heart because she has filled it with envy, frustration, and the desire to see you fall. She has made pacts with dark forces, lighting red and black candles with your name on them, using your photograph, and speaking words filled with malice. She has taken these objects to cemeteries, believing she could block your paths and weaken your spirit. Her intention is not only to affect your love life but to dim your light in every aspect: your financial stability, your health, your projects, and even the peace in your home. In her twisted mind, she believes that if she can stop you, she can take the place she thinks is hers, even though she has never done anything to deserve it. She has manipulated people around you to distrust you, has spread gossip, and has tried to distort your image in front of others. But her real attack has been on an energetic level, using objects that once touched your hands or belonged to you. She has tried to link her evil to your energy, as if she could manipulate your destiny. However, what she doesn't understand is that no darkness can penetrate the soul of someone who is supported by faith and divine light. It's possible that in recent weeks you have felt extreme, unexplained fatigue, interruptions in your sleep, discouraging thoughts that appear out of nowhere, sudden arguments with people you love, or unexplainable blocks in projects that once flowed easily. All of this has been part of her attempt to break you, to make you doubt your strength, and to weaken the connection to your blessings. But the balance is already being restored. Archangel Michael, along with the forces of light that protect you, has begun to intervene firmly, breaking the knots that bind you and tearing down the walls that were built against you. The paths that seemed closed will begin to open, and what seemed lost will return to you multiplied. The universe is moving the pieces in your favor. Even if you don't see it clearly right now, you will soon receive unmistakable signs, an unexpected call that opens new opportunities, money that arrives when you don't expect it, a project that is reborn after being stalled, or a key person who appears to help you selflessly. These events will not be coincidences but proof that divine justice is in action. However, for this restorative energy to take hold, it is crucial that you strengthen your defenses. It's not enough to physically clean your house. You must also purify your thoughts, cut ties with people who drain your energy, and reaffirm your decrees of protection every day. Faith is a living force that needs to be fed with constant action. Just as evil moves persistently, good must act with even more firmness. Every morning when you wake up, visualize a golden armor covering your entire body, a luminous shield surrounding your heart, and a sword of light in your hands. Declare with a firm voice that nothing and no one can penetrate this divine protection. Ask Archangel Michael to use his flaming sword to cut any spell, curse, or dark energy that has been sent your way. Meanwhile, the woman who has attacked you will begin to feel the weight of her own actions more intensely. She will no longer be able to hide that her life is falling apart with constant arguments, financial problems she can't solve, sudden illnesses, and an internal emptiness she cannot fill. This is not a coincidence. It is the echo of everything she has tried to sow against you. And though she will try to find new ways to harm you, she will discover that her paths are closing one by one. Every attempted attack will rebound on her with greater force, and she will witness her allies begin to pull away, tired of her poison. You, on the other hand, will feel security and calm gradually return to your life. The fear that once paralyzed you will transform into a powerful certainty. You are untouchable as long as you walk with God's light and the guidance of Archangel Michael. What once seemed like an endless struggle will reach its resolution. And at that moment, you will understand that this entire battle was also a test to strengthen your spirit and elevate your faith. Remember, you are not alone or unprotected. The universe and celestial forces are working not only to help you recover what is yours, but to receive it in greater abundance than you ever imagined. The battle continues, but the victory has already been written, and the outcome will be your absolute triumph, a triumph that everyone will see and that will be impossible to hide. That is why it's vital that every corner of your house is purified and sealed with divine intention so that no shadow can find a place to dwell. Start by placing coarse salt in all the corners of each room, visualizing how it absorbs any residue of dark energy that has been trapped there. Then, sweep that salt outside as a symbol of final expulsion. As you do this, repeat mentally that everything that does not belong to the light must leave forever. Prepare a smudge stick with rue, rosemary, and laurel, 3 plants that have been used since ancient times as a shield against evil. Walk through every space with it, making sure the smoke reaches the windows, doors, and most hidden corners. Feel how the vibration of the environment changes and how your heart lightens with every step. Open the curtains, let the sun bathe every wall, and visualize its golden rays forming a protective field that does not dissolve over time. As you perform this physical and spiritual cleansing, imagine a giant sphere of white light settling over your home, growing larger with every prayer you speak. At its center, Archangel Michael, with his flaming sword, remains vigilant, ready to cut off any attempted intrusion by hostile energies. Keep in mind that protection is not a one-time act but a habit. Just as you clean dust or wash clothes, your space and your spirit require constant maintenance to remain free from anything that tries to harm them. That woman and the people who support her will continue to look for cracks to enter through, but each time they will encounter a more solid wall, because your actions and your faith will have raised impenetrable barriers. Very soon, the attacks you feel now will transform into overcome tests, into stories you will tell as victories. You will notice the air in your house becomes lighter, you will sleep better, and dark thoughts will lose their power until they disappear. Even your physical energy will increase, because by freeing yourself from invisible burdens, your body will regain the vitality that seemed lost. This internal strengthening will not only protect your home but also your path in all areas of your life. The people who previously tried to manipulate you will notice that you no longer react in the same way, that your peace is imperturbable, and that nothing can disrupt your balance. This will disconcert them because their plan was always to see you weak, and instead, they will find you stronger than ever. Remember that every challenge you face is also an opportunity to expand your light and prove that your purpose is greater than any attack. Affirm every day that you are untouchable, that your life is under the protection of higher forces, and that your steps are guided toward a destiny full of abundance, love, and peace. Don't forget that energies feed on what you give them. So, don't give them fear or pain, give them indifference and faith. When they look at you, expecting you to fall, you will be rising. When they expect you to cry, you will be smiling. When they plan your defeat, God will be writing your victory. That is the force that accompanies you and will not let you fall. And when this storm finally passes, you will look back and see that everything had a purpose, to show you what you're made of, to teach you that your light cannot be extinguished. and to confirm that true love and divine justice always triumph over any darkness. Stay firm, because what is coming for you will be so great and so beautiful that even your enemies will be forced to admit they could not stop you. Your story of victory is already written, and every step you take now brings you closer to its glorious end. Those forces she tried to manipulate are turning against those who summon them, and sooner or later, they end up claiming a price that no one is willing to pay. That woman doesn't understand that the energy she invokes doesn't distinguish between friend and foe, that it corrupts everything it touches, and that in her attempt to harm you, she has only sealed her own downfall. What she lit in that cemetery was not a weapon against you, but a fire that now burns in her own field, slowly consuming everything she had built. And even if you don't see it, she is already paying the consequences on the spiritual plane. Her health is weakening, her relationships are breaking, and the prosperity she thought was secure is slipping through her hands like water. This is because divine justice never fails, and Archangel Michael does not rest until balance is restored. But your role in this battle is not passive. God asks you not to leave any loose ends, to seal all the entrances through which that energy might have tried to sneak in. It's not enough to light a white candle and speak a decree. You must also clean every corner of your home with intention and faith. Wipe down surfaces with a cloth dipped in salt water. Spray the corners with infusions of rue and rosemary. And as you do, declare that this is your sacred ground, and only the light of the Creator can inhabit it. Visualize a golden sphere growing inside you, expanding to cover every foot of your house like a sun that leaves no room for shadows. Imagine Archangel Michael at every door and window, vigilant, with his sword held high, ready to cut off any energy that tries to enter. Do it with the certainty that this is not a mere symbolic act, but a profound spiritual work that transforms your reality. During this process, you may feel the atmosphere stir, the air become denser, or even have strange dreams. Do not be afraid. This is a sign that the energies that do not belong in your space are being evicted. Do not speak to them, do not name them. Simply continue your cleansing and reinforce your decree, only light dwells here, and so it will be forever. When you finish, open the windows so the fresh air can renew the energy and allow blessings to flow. The person who tried to harm you will begin to experience the weight of her mistake. What she thought would be a victory will turn into a chain of failures, and she will watch as people in her circle pull away, unable to bear the shadow that accompanies her. This woman will no longer be able to hide that her life is chaos, and even if she tries to blame you, no one will believe her words because the truth always comes to light. You, on the other hand, will begin to notice signs of restoration. You will sleep better, your thoughts will be clearer, arguments will dissipate, and new opportunities will knock on your door. This is just the beginning of a phase in which your life will be filled with blessings and justice. Remember, whenever you feel fear or insecurity, you must call on Archangel Michael, not with a plea, but with gratitude, like someone who knows that help is already present. Because that is how you win on the spiritual plane, believing before seeing, trusting before receiving. You are in the midst of closing a cycle, and what comes next will be so luminous that even you will be surprised at how everything changed in such a short time. Stay alert, because the first sign that victory is near will be unexpected news that fills you with hope. It could be a message, a visit, or an event that will confirm that God has heard your prayers and that nothing and no one can ever hurt you again. At this very moment, in dimensions your eyes cannot see, an intense battle is being waged in your favor. Archangel Michael is not alone. He is accompanied by legions of light who have descended with a clear mission: to tear down every wall your enemies have tried to build in your path, to disable every invisible trap, and to return every dark energy to its place of origin. As you read these words, these celestial forces are already moving through your home, your environment, and even your own energy field, sealing every crack that could have been used to attack you. And although you have felt the weight of the struggle until now, very soon the only thing you will feel is a deep peace, a lightness in your soul that will confirm that the worst is behind you. Do not underestimate what is happening. What seems like a simple moment on earth is, for the spiritual plane, a moment of justice, executed with divine precision. The enemy who thought they could manipulate your destiny is being confronted directly by the most powerful celestial authority. There will be no hiding place for their actions, because the light penetrates even the darkest corners. The person who lit those candles against you thought she was playing with controllable forces, but what she really did was summon her own ruin. And just as she tried to seal your paths, she now sees her own closing one by one, no matter how hard she tries to keep them open. Money slips away, her relationships break, and desperation begins to show on her face. This is not a coincidence, it is the spiritual law of multiplied return for every act. You, on the other hand, are entering a stage of restoration. You will notice how, little by little, the days feel lighter, how things that used to be complicated begin to resolve without so much effort, and how the right people start coming into your life at the perfect moment. The darkness they tried to place upon you now becomes a mantle of light that envelops and protects you. Archangel Michael is not only cutting the ties that bound you to those attacks, but is also opening new routes to your well-being. What is coming for you is not just protection and abundance, but opportunities and connections that will propel you to a higher level of life. And even if there are still attempts to hurt you, they will no longer have an effect because your energy will be shielded. That is why it is essential that you keep your faith active during these days. It is not enough to give thanks once. You must hold that gratitude in your heart, like a shield that does not break. Every morning upon waking, repeat with conviction, I am protected, I am light, I am blessed, and nothing and no one can take away what God has placed in my path. That phrase will be like a seal that prevents any intrusion. Remember that your protection is an agreement between your will and divine force. You give permission, and the light acts. Prepare yourself, because in the coming days, you will have very clear signs that all this spiritual work is bearing fruit. It could be a call you were waiting for, a job opportunity that seemed lost, or an unexpected encounter with someone who will bring you good news. These events will be the confirmation that the wheel has already turned in your favor, and that nothing will ever be the same again. Now is your time to flourish, to see how every tear shed turns into joy, how every loss transforms into gain, and how every closed door leads you to another much larger and more luminous one. Stay alert and with an open heart, because Archangel Michael is not only protecting you at this moment, but is already organizing the blessings you will receive. This is your season of victory. And no one, absolutely no one, can stop it. And that plan always works in favor of those who walk with a clean heart and unwavering faith. What this person failed to understand is that every action on the spiritual plane leaves a mark. And when that mark is defined by envy, hatred, and malice, it inevitably leads the one who left it to their own disaster. The universe is a perfect echo. Everything you send out returns to you multiplied, and she is about to experience the weight of her actions firsthand. The very spirits she tried to manipulate now surround her, not to serve her, but to claim what is theirs. She will no longer find peace in her nights or her days, because what she invoked cannot be extinguished with simple words. What she tried to sow in your life now sprouts in hers. Meanwhile, you begin to notice how the energy of your surroundings changes. That feeling of oppression in your chest lightens, the environmental heaviness dissipates, and even your breathing feels deeper and calmer. It's as if an invisible window has opened, and a stream of fresh air is renewing every corner of your existence. This is not a coincidence. It is the angels at work, cleansing, restoring, and sealing every door that might have been open to negativity. On the invisible plane, legions of light are removing knots, cutting energetic threads, and returning every curse to where it came from. This is not common magic or superstition. It is the manifestation of divine order. When God's justice acts, it does so with precision, without error, and without leaving any loose ends. From now on, you'll see conversations change. People who were once cold to you become more open, and opportunities arise where there were previously closed doors. Even situations that had been unresolved for months or years will begin to move, because the chains that held you back have been broken, And here is something important. This is the perfect moment for you to act in your own favor as well. The cleansing the angels are performing needs your conscious collaboration. Keep your space tidy, your mind focused on the positive, and your heart free of resentment. Forgiveness is not about justifying what they did to you, but about cutting any energetic link to those people. Don't give them any more space in your life or your thoughts. Every time you think of them, imagine them moving away and disappearing into a point of light, leaving no trace. You will see that this practice, combined with your prayer, will reinforce the protective shield they are already placing around you. And even if some still try to make moves against you, they will hit an invisible wall, impossible to break down. Archangel Michael is not only defending you now, he is also closing the paths through which they might try to attack you in the future. What is being sealed today is forever, and the doors opening before you will be doors of blessing. Do not be afraid if in the coming days you see certain people pull away or certain situations collapse. It is not loss, it is cleansing. Heaven is clearing your life of everything that does not contribute to your well-being, so there is space for the new things to come. And what is coming is great, healthy relationships, thriving projects, financial stability, and a peace that nothing and no one can ever steal from you. This stage is the beginning of a new chapter in which you will walk with more security because you will know you are not alone. Every step you take will be accompanied by that celestial force that has decided to stay by your side, not just for protection, but as a guide toward a destiny filled with light. Remain grateful and attentive, because the signs that all of this is real will begin to appear very soon. And once you see them, you will never again doubt that the hand of God has intervened in your life. What is coming for you is not a simple improvement, it's a complete transformation that will touch every area of your life. The universe doesn't return what belongs to you by halves. When God and Archangel Michael act, they do so abundantly, multiplying every blessing so that you lack nothing. Prepare to receive not only what was taken from you, but also what you never imagined you could have. Opportunities will begin to arrive one after another, and each one will be a key piece in building the life you've always dreamed of. Projects that had been stalled will get underway, doors that seemed locked will swing wide open, and what once seemed impossible will become a tangible reality. This stage is not a coincidence, it is the result of your resilience, your faith, and your ability to stand firm, even in the midst of the toughest trials. You have gone through dark nights, days of uncertainty, and moments when you felt you couldn't go on, but you still kept moving forward. This strength within you is what has moved heaven to intervene so decisively in your favor. And although your enemies may still try to whisper your name or move energies against you, those intentions will crash against the shield that surrounds you. Divine justice makes no mistakes, and every attempt they make will only accelerate their own collapse. You will not have to seek revenge because the universe will ensure that everyone reaps what they have sown. You, on the other hand, will only need to focus on receiving, giving thanks, and continuing to grow. The signs of this change will be clear. People who once ignored or rejected you will seek to get closer. Unexpected proposals will come your way, and situations that used to cause you fear will now be resolved with ease. You will even feel a profound change within yourself, more confidence, more serenity, more clarity in decision-making, as if a new version of you is being born, one that no longer carries old fears or open wounds. This rebirth is not just spiritual, it will also be reflected in the material world. The financial opportunities you have been waiting for will begin to manifest. Your environment will become more harmonious, and love, whether in the form of a new relationship or the restoration of an important connection, will knock on your door. Don't be surprised if people from the past try to return, but this time, you will have the power to decide from a place of self-love and abundance. The energy surrounding you now does not allow for lack, only fullness. And while you are receiving, that woman who tried to sink you will face a chain of losses and closures that she cannot stop. Her plan has become her sentence, and what was once her pride will become her hardest lesson. This is the law of cause and effect acting perfectly. Today you can breathe easy because the worst is over. This is your time, this is your miracle, and nothing and no one can take it from you. Stay open to all the good that is about to arrive, because this is just the beginning of an abundant harvest that will fill your life with love, peace, prosperity, and light. Now, with every dawn, you will feel your life moving in a completely new direction, lighter, cleaner, and more prosperous. There will be no trace of the oppression you once felt, because the divine intervention has left an indelible mark on your path. Archangel Michael has sealed every door through which the darkness tried to enter, and in their place has opened wide windows through which the fresh air of new opportunities now flows. Your days will be filled with signs confirming that this transformation is real. You will receive news you have been waiting for. People with good intentions will come into your life to support and collaborate with you, and everything that was stalled will begin to flow with force. There will be no more futile struggles or sleepless nights filled with fear. Instead, there will be deep rest and clear dreams, showing you paths of blessing. Love will also be renewed in your life. If you are single, a sincere and stable connection will arrive, built on respect and reciprocity, without games or deceit. If you are in a relationship, it will be strengthened with more open communication and a more solid commitment. The light that now envelops you will attract healthy bonds and push away any toxic union. Financially, unexpected doors will open, job proposals, collaborations, ideas that will flourish quickly, and income you hadn't planned for. This is not a coincidence. It is the reward for standing firm and not allowing the darkness to extinguish your light. It is the universe telling you that your faith has been enough to move mountains and that you now deserve to reap in abundance. The most valuable lesson this stage leaves you with is that you should never again underestimate your spiritual strength. You have seen with your own eyes that the hardest battles are not always fought in the physical world, but on the invisible plane, and that faith, combined with conscious action, is capable of dismantling any malicious work. Therefore, from now on, keep your protection active, not just as a response to what you've been through, but as a life habit. Cleanse your home regularly, pray every day, give thanks before you sleep, and surround yourself with people who add light to your life. This will not only keep those who want to harm you at a distance, but will also allow you to live in a constant flow of peace and well-being. The woman who tried to sink you no longer has power over you. Her attempts have become her own sentence, and her name will be lost in the echo of her own mistakes. Karma will run its course, and you will have to do nothing more than stay true to your purpose. Time will show that your hands are clean, and that your victory came by divine right. This is the moment to lift your head, to walk with confidence, and to remember every day that your story has changed forever. Not because the enemy wanted it to, but because the light chose to dwell in you permanently. What was once a stage of struggle now becomes a life of harvest, and every step you take will be marked by the certainty that nothing and no one can take away what heaven has already decreed for you. Today, seal this commitment in your heart, to live with gratitude, to keep your faith intact, and to never again allow the shadow of doubt to take hold of you. The universe has already spoken, and its verdict is clear. The victory is yours. Justice has been done, and the future that awaits you is filled with light, love, prosperity, and blessings that will not stop multiplying. Now you can finally breathe in peace, because what is coming is not just a simple reward. It is the abundant and protected life you have always deserved, and it has come to stay. And as you move into this new stage, remember that everything you went through was not meant to destroy you, but to polish your spirit and awaken the strength you now carry with pride.